Today I want to dive into 6 sustainable ways to lose weight, keep weight off, and live healthy lifelong. Thing is, we all want to try to lose weight sometime or another. It's getting the summer body, and with summer coming up, a lot of people are trying to go back on a diet. Thing is, most diets don't work because they're not sustainable. You do it for 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, you hate every bit of it, crash and burn, and you go back to living the same way you were before. So today I want to share with you 6 things we need to think about in order to lose weight, keep the weight off, and live healthy lifelong. And I think that living healthy lifelong must be the first priority. The healthier we get, the better. But remember, we can always get unhealthy again also. The first one is something we don't always think about and we overlook, but it's vitally important. And that is your environment. You need to fix your environment for success. And what do I mean with that? Our house has a lot of the foods we eat. Mostly 60 to 80% of everything we eat comes from our home. If you keep something unhealthy in your house, guess what? You are going to have it. It's 8 o'clock at night, we're putting on Netflix, you're bored, that bag of chips is going to get open or that Cadbury slab is going to go down. So think about how your environment affects what you eat and how you eat. The thing is, a good rule of thumb, keep your house where you feed your body healthy food, where you nourish your body, you give it what it needs, and then rather go out and indulge on something. The second one, managing your appetite. If we go on a diet, we are generally in a calorie deficit, and with a calorie deficit does come hunger. Our hormone ghrelin generally goes up, which stokes more appetite, ghrelin being the hunger hormone. Now, a thing to keep in mind here, we don't necessarily have to be that hungry. We have to prioritize the proper food groups to help with that. And the 2 main things every meal you need to focus on is protein. Protein is the most satiating of all the macronutrients. And that satiating part of the protein is going to keep us fuller for longer with sustained energy. Now, the second one we need to add to that is fiber. Fiber slows down the digestion of food. It also builds the bulk of a meal, and it makes us, again, fuller for longer. So if you don't want to be constantly hungry, prioritize proteins and fibers in every meal. The third one, finding your balance. And what I mean with balance, the more we take away all the stuff we enjoy, the more we are setting ourselves up for failure. Because the more I take away, the more you want that. No more chocolate, guess what you're going to crave? Chocolate. No more chips, that's the thing you're going to crave. So a rule I personally live by is the 80-20 rule. 80% of the time, I nourish my body. I give it what it needs in order to function at an optimal level. That being correct proteins, correct carbs, correct fats, and that's what I do at home. That other 20%, you need to still enjoy the indulgent foods. A lot of times we do this socially, we do it with friends, we do it with company, and there's a very important psychological aspect to that. We need to enjoy these things. It's Christmas, it's Easter, it's a birthday. That's where it goes back to that first one, your environment. My home is where I keep everything clean. I go out with my family over the weekend to a restaurant or for pizza or Italian, or we're feeling Portuguese or Spanish, or we're going to a friend's place, or I'm inviting friends over. That 20% you need to be able to enjoy. Being at a chocolate mousse, a cupcake, a brownie, you need the flexibility to enjoy those foods. But again, 80-20. If we live 80% in that clean side, that 80% affords you the luxury of indulging that 20% without a lot of negative health consequences. So ask yourself, where are you on that 80-20% scale? And being 100% clean on a diet, you are setting yourself up for failure. Number 4, sleep. Prioritize your sleep. Sleep is vital. Sleep is very important. We generally overlook the importance of sleep. 1 or 2 nights of bad sleep, you are almost in a pre-diabetic state with insulin sensitivity. On average, a person who had a bad night of sleep will consume around 200 to 300 more calories the next day. Sleep is vital for metabolic health, for psychological health, and to make sure our metabolism is firing properly for the next day. We need to work on a sleep routine. What are we doing pre-bed? Are we relaxing? Are we starting to unwind? Because we need to be in a calm, relaxed state to actually benefit from proper night's rest. What are you doing to prioritize your sleep? And on to one of my favorite ones, which a lot of people find very difficult. That's number 5, moving your body. Exercise is vital for the waistline, but not just that, for metabolic health, psychological health, heart health, whole body. And when I say exercise, I'm not saying you have to go punish yourself in the gym or go run 40, 50 kilometers and all these kinds of stuff. Start small. Start with movement. Moving the body, stopping further away than you would usually do. Walk. Instead of the elevator, take the stairs. All these little steps you take extra every day adds up. Then we can start looking, you know what? Let's start building an exercise regime. And I'm going to tell you now, don't start 5 days a week, 6 days a week. I'm going to go to the gym 5 days this week for 45 minutes. Please don't. Hear me out. If you're going to do that, you're going to set yourself up for failure because life happens. Life is busy. We all have businesses. We all have to get work done. We've got a boss. We've got kids. We've got a spouse. What do we have to think about? Those 5 days you set out for yourself. You might go twice or 3 times this week. At the end of the week, you're going to feel like a failure because you didn't go the 5 times. Then the next week comes again. You're like, I'm going to do that 5 times this week. I'm going to make it. Well, maybe again 3 times, or even maybe 4 times. And again, you feel like a failure. That whole psychological part of failing, it's going to break you down. So why not start twice a week, 20 minutes? Do that for 2-3 weeks. And you know what? That's going to make you feel like you succeeded at that. Then let's go now for 30 minutes twice a week. And then build it up. Okay, now let's go 3 times 30 minutes per week. That's forming a habit as a foundation which you can build on and increase as you go forward. And every time you increase, it feels like success. You're starting to compete with yourself instead of breaking yourself down by setting that goal too high. Most people that exercise, run, gym 5-6 times a week, they started small and it progressively got more because they already solidified the habit. And if we have to put a number on it, where we want to be for general heart health, overall body metabolic health, psychological health is a goal of 150 minutes of exercise per week. That is kind of like the golden ratio. If you're not there yet, slowly build up. Now, which brings us to the 6th and final one, stress. We need to manage our stress. Constant stress breaks down the body. We are going to go in depth in a lot of stress videos on how it affects the psychology, how it affects our metabolic, how it affects our physical. It's a whole can of worms and we're going to dive into it. But stress needs to be addressed. We need to find things that calm us down. We can't operate in a stressful environment the whole time. Think of it. Every time you were stressed, you got home, generally it's that Cadbury slab, it's that chocolate, it's that bag of chips, or it's the beer or the Jack Daniels. When we are stressed, we want to find a form of escape. And for a lot of people, that form of escape comes into food. We overeat, we eat to cope. And for others, again, we avoid food. They don't eat at all. Both these areas are detrimental to our health. Overeating and undereating. They are not where we want to go. And stress makes it easier to fall into one of those camps. Think the last time you were stressed. How did you behave around food? Overeating, we don't necessarily feel when we're full. We just stay hungry, or we avoid food. We don't even feel hunger. We don't even want to see food. Stress has a massive effect on that. What are you doing to prioritize stress management? And that actually brings us back to the 5th one. Exercise is a great way to alleviate some of the stress. Sleep routine is a great way to alleviate some of our stresses. Feeding the body the food it needs is a great way to alleviate some stress. Fixing our home environment is another great way to bring down stress. And that's why generally when you are on a diet, it's not less stress. It's much more stress. Because you know you're going to be hungry, you're going to starve yourself, you can't have this, you can't have that. That's already putting you in a stress state. Is that living? Is that sustainable for lifelong health? No, it's not. To recap, the 6 steps to sustainable weight loss. Number 1, fixing your environment. Number 2, managing your appetite. Number 3, finding balance. Number 4, sleep routine. Number 5, moving your body, getting in that exercise. And number 6, managing stress, finding stress relief. Which one of those 6 are you acing? And which one of those 6 do you find the most difficult area to focus on? Let me know in the comments down below. I would really appreciate if you hit the subscribe button and give this video a like, share it with somebody that you think will benefit from hearing these things. And until our next one, have a lovely day and try to be 1% better today than you were yesterday.